In our previous example, we generated an executable using MSF Venom. We copied that to the other location. We had the executable ran, and at the same time, we created a reverse connection between the two so that I could then interrogate that other Windows machine. Now, that's all good and well, but of course, that means you need to have access or have somebody execute something on your behalf. And that doesn't always work. So metasploit allows us to do all of that process in the same commands. So let me just clear the screen so we can start from scratch. So first off, we're going to specify an exploit, and it's one that we looked at before. So Windows, I'm going to choose SMB, and we're going to use the psexec. Now you may recognize the name psexec. It's exactly where it comes from. It actually has roots back into the psexec tool that is in sysinternals. So I'm actually going to specify this one. And then I'm going to ask for show options. And of course, there's lots of options that are available. And of course, we have seen this before. So I'm going to go ahead and start populating the values. Remember that our host and our port are the target machine that we want to get to. So I'm going to clear my screen and then type set our host, which will be my end machine that I'm trying to get to. So 172.16.1.51. And I'm then also going to set a payload that I wish to use. And for this one, what I want it to do is simply just return me a command prompt, a Windows command prompt. I'm going to use reverse TCP. What I'm then going to do is set my L host, which of course is me, which is how it's going to come back. By now you will have gathered that that's what it takes. You need to be able to say, well, I'm the L host, this is my target, this is my communication endpoint. I'm going to leave the L port as the standard 444 because there's no firewalls as such here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do show options again. And you can see that we have all this information for the payload configured. And if I just scroll back up, we have the R host and the R port configured. And I just need to set my SMB domain, username and password, which is what we've used before. So let me just clear this, do setMB domain, which is my Conesis Labs, set SMB user, which will go with our Loki user, set SMB password, remember the secure password that we have. So now we have everything connected. Now what I'm able to do at this point is ready to exploit. So now we'll just exploit. And what you'll see is it will go ahead and create a connection. It will authenticate using the account credential that we have. It will upload a payload in the form of an executable. It will then start that service. It will then delete everything out. It will have been encoded. And then it will come all the way back. And then look what we get. We get a Microsoft Windows command prompt. So I can type in hostname, and it comes back and says my hostname is Magni, which is the name of my machine. I can type ipconfig. I can do a directory listing. I can do all the things that you would expect to do from a Windows command prompt. So that was exactly the same as the last one, except we didn't bring a interpreter shell back. We brought a Windows command shell back using the same thing. But this time, instead of generating the executable up front and then having to execute it, we just push the whole thing together using an exploit within Windows.